Welcome to the Shared Practices podcast. I am joined by a Richard that has another last name that's three letters, so he's got to be a good guy. This is Richard May from Mango Voice. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing really well, thank you. And yeah, from one Richard to another with a three-letter last name. Yeah, we are good guys. I don't care what
Yeah,
anyone says. We're
there's
good
there's a
guys.
whole bunch of like inappropriate jokes that we could make here now, but we've been the butt end of those jokes for way too long, so we're not going to do that to each other. Welcome to the show, and I'm excited. So beforehand, we were talking about some of the amazing AI features that are now available. I remember I've got a friend who works for a tech startup helping sales and company, and the first time he played a recording for me of an AI phone call, it just blew me away. I'm like, for good and for bad, like this changes everything. And I get more spam calls these days that I'm afraid are AI, but also it's really powerful to be able to delegate and hand off some things and to automate things that our team members just miss, our offices just miss. So that's the little teaser for what we're going to talk about today. But first off, I want you to introduce yourself, introduce your role at Mango and how you got here before we get to the juicy stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect introduction, I think, into what we're going to talk about today. But yeah, my name, as you know, is Richard May. I'm the VP of Business Development at Mango Voice, and I got into this role because of my wife, actually. I've always worked in healthcare prior to this, but my wife, oddly enough, she was being honored at a banquet for her own stuff. You know, she's far more talented than I am, and she definitely elevates me. But I was just the her plus one at a dinner, and the guy that I was seated next to was hired to recruit for Mango.
Yeah.
They were looking for someone to do partnerships and business development. And after, I didn't know that's what he was doing, but after dinner was over, he was like, "Hey, we should talk some more if you're interested in a new role." And the timing was perfect for that. And it's just kind of a nice little testament to like, you don't ever know who's watching or why someone you might be interacting with um, could be a really great opportunity for you. So always be your best self. Always try to be, pleasant and kind because, this has been a great opportunity being at Mango. I've loved every minute of it. And it was just chance, really. And you never know who you're going to be seated next to and what opportunity they might afford you. So be your best self always.
And I think play nice in the sandbox is definitely in dentistry. It's not a big world, and if
100%.
if you get a
Hmm.
bad reputation, if you burn bridges, we're all staring at each other across the pond as time goes on. So
For
um,
sure.
that's that's exactly the kind of person who needs to be in that role. So um, everything's advancing so quickly in tech, in AI, and I think one of the biggest challenges for dentists is it's like there's all this stuff out there. What should I be doing with this? How do I implement this? How do I turn chat GPT? I mean, literally before our call, I had a YouTube video up of someone reviewing chat GPT 5 because I've heard like awful things and great things. And I'm like, okay, what actually is this? And how much does it matter? And is it going to screw things up? And am I hallucinating? That's a thing. So like, because apparently AI hallucinates and tells you lies. Um, so it's a weird world, and as often as we can, when someone finds a solution that just solves a problem and it automates something, it takes something off our plate, it takes something off our teammates' plate, it's so valuable because it's more and more expensive to hire good people. It's harder to retain good people, and we want them doing the most important tasks. And so, before this call, you were telling me about some of the new stuff that Mango is rolling out. Would you mind sharing? Like this weird world of AI, how Mango is really pioneering here.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I don't mind sharing it all. It's literally my job to promote this stuff. So thanks for
Do
the
you mind
opportunity
doing your
to
job? Will you do your job today, Richard?
thanks for the opportunity to even talk about it at all. No, it's an exciting world. I mean, I actually like ChatGPT 5 so far. I use it every
Cool. That's
day.
good to know. That's a good
Yeah,
data
I think
point.
it's been great. And Mango. this AI race or AI war in dentistry is like a real thing, right? Everyone's trying to figure out, how do I create efficiencies in my office? How do I cut costs? How do I not miss out on, some of these really cool features and automations that are coming out now? And we're no different. In our space, especially in telecom, everyone is trying to create the next best feature and make life easier for their customers. And I would say that Mango has been pretty methodical about how we've done this. We haven't just dove right in and said, "Hey, we have a product." As soon as we had something working, we didn't just release it. We took our time to kind of see what was going to be adopted and what were people really going to like. And we came up with two really good solutions that practices are loving right now. And the first one is, everyone gets call recordings, or most practices. Actually, you'd be shocked at how many practices are still using some analog system that doesn't actually record calls. And if you're doing that still, you should just upgrade to a VoIP system that can easily record your calls. And but we're taking those call recordings to another level. We are taking that conversation, that two-way back and forth from patient to the front desk, and we take that entire call recording and we summarize it and give you a note. And we take that note and we automatically log it into the practice management software for you. Because as we were talking about earlier, everyone should or is, told, hey, let's take notes. And there's a lot of shoulds in dentistry, right? There's a lot of shoulds at the front desk, but certain things just don't get done because of how busy you are, because of like limitations on how much time you have. And so every phone call now, Mango will summarize that call and log it for you. So you have a detailed note on every patient interaction over the phone. And this is huge for, auditing accounts, for, the doctor that's going through his schedule for the day, being able to see that last conversation that was had with these patients in a detailed note has been an absolute game changer for practices. And team members love it because they're more efficient. It's more efficient for them. Um, and they don't have to stress about getting a good note anymore. And one of the things we really want to emphasize for us is, like, we believe that people matter a ton in this space. And we're not trying to replace people. We're trying to replace tasks with our AI features. Now, some other companies may be doing that, but we're trying to focus on what actually helps people be better employees and not just totally replace their entire workforce.
I love this first off because it is such a specific thing that is obnoxious. It's like there's certain things,
Yeah.
documentation in dentistry, and like dotting all
Hmm.
your I's and crossing your T's. It just takes time. And for every little thing that we can take off our team members' plate, it's just more bandwidth for them to focus on what matters. So this is great. It will record the whole call and then it summarizes the call. Does it do voicemails?
Yeah, so we'll take the voicemails too, summarize the voicemails for you, and then give you the entire transcript of the voicemail too. So um, you can actually just go through and read the entire voicemail transcript. So a lot of practices really like to see that voicemail logged, under the patient notes as well. Um,
Um,
you know, I will say that, it is a machine. It's still learning. Sometimes it might spell a name wrong. It might spell John differently than how you and I spell John or something like that. So I won't say that it's, completely perfect. And anyone who tells you that it is a perfect AI system is probably overselling it. But what we have been able to do, I think, is really just save time and increase the detailed documentation, as you mentioned.
and I told you beforehand I was going to push you of like, okay, where does this still like not perfect? And so you gave us one right there. Does it do the full transcription? Because like when I get a voicemail on my phone, it'll tell me the transcript of that voicemail, or now when you send a voice memo, when like even on WhatsApp or Messenger, any of these platforms, you send that voice memo and it'll summarize, or it'll do the whole thing. And what I've realized is we talk really unintelligibly sometimes when you
Yeah.
see that block of text and there's no punctuation, there's no capitalization. You're just like trying to follow. And then I'm like, fine, I'll just listen to this because reading it, if it's more than a minute or two, sometimes is obnoxious. So does it summarize it? Does it clean it up? Is it word for word a transcript? Is there options to kind of dial in? Does it give me just kind of the raw transcription, or does it intelligently summarize it and condense it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So the summary is just a full summary of the entire conversation. Cleans it up really nicely for you. You can go in and make changes to it if it's off. So it does give you the option to edit it because, they're not going to always be perfect. Sometimes people speak softly or quietly on the phone. Sometimes they speak too loudly or there's a lot of background noise and it may miss things because even we miss things when that's happening, right? Um, but it does give you a link inside of that summary, inside of the notes, back to Mango, where you can see the entire transcript. And I will say the real beauty of the Mango Voice transcript is it is broken down by patient and office. So it's not just a big block of text that you have to read through. It'll
Okay.
it'll start and begin almost like a script. Here's the patient talking, here's the office talking, which we really do like that a lot because it gives you a nice breakdown.
Visually.
And again, visually, yes, and it does give you the audio along with it. Um, and finally, it does give a sentiment analysis, so a score rating that call, telling you, hey, this was good, bad, or neutral based off of your tone, the words you use, how fast you spoke, were you short with them, and we will give you that flag, say, hey, this was a bad call. So it solves another problem of saying, hey, we have 100 calls we want to listen to for training purposes, but now we can break that down to here's the 5 or 6 we really want to focus on because no one has
Um,
time to listen to 100 calls in a day. But here's your 5 or 6 that you need to go focus on.
if we had it record a conversation between us and a team member, would it tell us that we're a jerk if we're a jerk? You know, that sentiment score, you know?
Yeah, just the bosses, just the doctors. No, no, it doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. It what it tells you, it doesn't say jerk, but it does say
Should.
poor. It says poor, neutral, or good, and that's where we've decided to be as PC as possible, right? We don't want to
That's
like
good.
offend anyone or take it too far, because we could, there are every once in a while there's some bad words thrown around out there
Yeah,
every
it's
once in
like,
a while.
oh, we're not allowed to say those on call today.
Yeah,
Which you want to
exactly.
know, yeah, like
You do
the
what you do want to know when those happen. Yeah. So, you could actually go and search for keywords too. So you could just type in, and when I usually pitch this, I like to say, hey, look for terms like crown or like schedule or cancel, so you can see all the calls that happen with that. But you could go search for anything really
yeah,
and
no,
see.
no, you don't need to go looking for the negative,
You don't need to, but
okay, cool. So it's analyzing it, it's making it visual, it's summarizing it. Um, I've heard some of these AI platforms that have specialized in this, talking about analyzing new patient phone calls or patient phone calls for like, did we schedule or not? Did we miss an opportunity? So really analyzing it from almost a sales perspective. And that seemed like a very specialized tool that like they poured a bunch into it. And this has even been around for a couple of years. So is there tools that we can use in terms of analyzing not just tone but performance? Is that in the pipeline? Is that something else we can add on to it to analyze it? How does it interface with things like that?
yeah. So, I mean, great question. Again, Mango's goal is not to be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of partners that kind of operate in this space. But we do want to get more insight on those calls. So, right now, we don't really have like a true way to say, hey, this is Richard May called and he booked this, cleaning and it's worth this much money. But as you said, is it coming soon? It is. So on top of like all these analytics and metrics that we're providing, we're going to start attaching dollar amounts to it and revenue captured on it. So there's a lot of places where people say they have this solved, and a lot of people that say, "Hey, we're already doing that," and that's great. If you already have that service and feel like it's good, perfect. But we get asked about it a lot, and so we are building it. So we'll be able to take that phone call, summarize it, and also give you, "Hey, what was this? What was this actually worth to you monetarily for your practice?" Um, so that is coming soon. Not live yet, but we plan to have it here done. pretty quickly.
down the road. No, that's great. And my goal here is ask the questions that you get asked 40 times, so that by the time they talk to you guys, they're like, okay, Richard already asked that for me. Um,
Yeah.
that's great. Well, okay, now I'm going to let you move on to the next feature, which is pretty exciting. Kind of what I referenced earlier on in the call is another AI application.
Yeah. So everyone is playing around with or is getting excited about voice AI receptionists or agents. And we've gotten really deep into this space too. This year, we launched Margot, Mango's AI receptionist. Um, she is really personable. She's really friendly. She's the employee in your office that never takes a sick day, doesn't have to pay insurance benefits on. She's as pleasant at 7 a.m. as she is at 5 p.m. And she doesn't like not answer the phone at 4:59 because she's out the door when the phone's ringing, right? And she will follow exactly the prompts that you give her. All right. I mean, what it won't do is she's not going to like schedule the call for you because the schedule is a really important part of the practice, as any practicing doctor would know and tell you. That goes without saying. You wouldn't necessarily take a brand new employee and give them full access to your schedule, and you don't want to necessarily do that with your AI assistant either. We don't want Margot scheduling a crown for you or scheduling an implant, right? Now, we are working on some ways to integrate her with the schedule where she can actually start sending you the text messages to like an online booking link. That's coming soon. But right now, what she does is she fields the calls for you. So if I'm a new patient and I call and I say, hey, I just want to get scheduled, she'll take down all my information and she'll follow all the prompts that you would expect your new team members to follow, which is get their best phone number, get their best way to contact them, when they're available to come in, are they in network, what's their insurance, and make sure that they have their name spelled correctly. And she will not end the call until she's collected all that information. Whereas, hey, I'm human, I forget to get certain details sometimes. But you can even try really hard with her to get off task, which some people do sometimes. Sometimes we have these time suckers that get on the phone and they start talking about their family or where they're from, and which is great. We like to be personable, but we also like to be efficient. She'll always bring it back to those prompts, and she won't end the call until she's gathered that information for you. And then she'll send you a nice email or text message logging this for you too, saying this person called at this time. You need to get them back and get them on the schedule. And the real problem we're trying to solve here is to never miss a call again. Uh, I'm a great example of this. I've been with my dentist for 8 years, and now my wife goes there too. And I moved to the area that I live in now, and I Google searched dentists in the area near me, and I called the first one that popped up, and they didn't answer. And like me, like a lot of people like me, I didn't leave a voicemail because I wanted it now. I didn't want to be called back later. Like that's how we, when it's top of mind, we just want a solution right away. So I just searched the next one, and that's been my dentist ever since. And he's actually become a friend. We play pickleball together every once in a while, and he's a good guy. Um, but I wouldn't have found him if the first practice would have probably just picked up the phone. So what Margot does is make sure you never miss that opportunity again. Um, Make sure that when you are spending thousands of dollars on marketing, that those marketing dollars are converting into new patients. That's the idea. And we're trying to make that a lot easier for practices because our records show we're the phone company. We can tell you this: the average dental practice is missing over 30% of their calls, and that's a pretty staggering number when you think about all the hard work you put into getting those calls in the first place.
From the aspect of like at one point, not too long in the past, I was the CEO of Shared Practices Group, and we had 35 offices. We built out multiple call centers in different countries to try and solve this
Hmm.
problem. It's so hard. And it's like we can train the team all day long, even these people overseas, um, like the phone trees and all of these different things to try and never miss a call. It's a weirdly hard problem to solve. And there is so much value that's being left on the floor when we miss these calls. So the fact that, without having to build out a call center or hire out a call center, You can just have someone answering the phones, this AI agent answering the phones for you. Um, it's incredible. It's really cool. My question here, and I promised Richard, I said I'm going to get you in trouble because I'm gonna dig for like bugs and problems with this. If I was smarter, I'd have some set up so that I could call her right now and like do a live demo. Um, we could try and do it on speaker, and I don't know if the my microphone would pick it up, but my wife just had a panic moment. She thought she had broken like our sump pump, some pipe on the side of the house, and it just kept flooding the side of the house.
Mm,
And we couldn't figure out if it was an irrigation line or a sump pump. She was trying to call the uh, AC plumbing Summers, whatever that we're got some plan with. And she gets them on the phone, and she's kind of emotional. She's kind of like freaking out, and she'll talk, and then there's this delay, and then the person starts
mm.
coming back, and there wasn't really any reassurance. There wasn't. She's like, "Am I talking to AI?" Like she was really frustrated. So it was like the two things were the delay between when you spoke and when the agent responded, and then number two was, um, if someone has some degree of emotionality, not being able to calm down another human being because that is a human skill. AI, unfortunately or fortunately, however you look at it, someday will be able to do stuff like that, but I don't think it's quite there in terms of empathy and um, understanding how to handle a crisis.
And I would say like sometimes it's sometimes it works perfectly. Sometimes it seems to understand you very well and it seems to like pick up everything you said without any, and sometimes she just repeats the question because she didn't quite pick it up. And a lot of that has to do with how you're speaking. AI is only as good as the input you give it. So you've got to be really good at what you're actually saying to it. We do have to identify on the call, like, hey, this is Mark, and you can name it whatever you want. We had a practice just rename it to Joy, like because it's a pediatric office. They're like, hey, meet Joy, and they made the voice very bubbly and happy, which you can do. And as you said, these things are only going to get better. Um, I think the most important thing to what you're talking about with someone who's in a panic and what she won't do is panic back. Now, like while she may not be as reassuring as like
She's not
your
going to
mother
escalate.
or your grandma might be, like if I were to call my mom, she would say, "Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Like it's going to be okay." She probably won't go to that point, but she's
Yep.
not going to escalate. She's not going to react and also tell you to or yell at you or make it worse. Um, I should have given you a phone number to call, but I will give you the number, and we can definitely put that out there along with this recording. I'd love everyone to call it and speak with Margot and give us your feedback and experience it for yourself. Um, yeah, I would say that, you know, it's still a machine. It's still only getting better. It's
Totally.
not gonna it's not gonna do everything perfectly. Um,
But
but
here's the thing: neither is a team member. Like
no,
I've
no.
I've I've trained team members time and time again on what to collect, what information is really important, what is not important, expectations to set, and we screw it up. And in fact, I've done live trainings on this podcast where we're talking about verbiage and someone else teaches me the verbiage and I try and do it right back live on a podcast episode and I screw it up. I
You
screw it
say
up
it differently. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it doesn't come
Hmm.
out right. So like
Yeah.
I think we're fooling ourselves to say that a team member would be perfect and therefore this is inferior when in fact number one, just getting the call answered so that the patient doesn't call someone else is massive. And then
Hmm.
number two, it's not going to miss things. It's not going to have things slip through the cracks. So I wanted to push you into like, see like, okay, where is the limit of like, yes, it's still not a human being, obviously, but um, at the same time, what are the alternatives? Miss the call or have a team member who also is going to miss things and not handle things perfectly and sometimes escalate, answer the phone. So
We see a lot of voicemails still being made. I mean, people leave voicemails all the time, but the number of hangups during voicemails is increasing in every practice across the board. And we see that. We did a poll of 150 people. And now I will say the demographic was 20 to 30 year olds. right? So a little bit of the younger, like up and coming generation. 87% of them said they don't leave voicemails. They don't care to leave voicemails. And but 83% of them said they would interact with an AI assistant. So this is the future. This is where we're going. Is to hey, voicemails are going to be the way of the past, and talking to and interacting with AI assistants is the future. This is where everyone is moving towards. So whether it's perfect or not, it's better than the alternative, as you said. Yeah, voicemail or just missing the call outright. And they will only get better. These machines are only going to get better. We're only going to train them more. We got some great consultants that work at Mango that we have hired out to help train these AI assistants so that you know they're it's not me. Like I'll just say it. I'm not a dental expert. If someone were to come in, I'm a patient. Like I'm not.
Right.
I am a consumer of dentistry, right? So I'm not someone that can train a front desk, but we have gone out and found some really great consultants and some coaches that are helping us understand, hey, what do we actually want this to do? We got some doctors that are helping us too on this. So it only gets better. We only improve it. And if we tell, like how you said, with a human, you hey, repeat after me, and we mess it up. Where you tell this machine, repeat after me, it will repeat after you. So again, not going to say it should be your front line. I don't think that's what you want it to be. I've yet to plug it in as at a practice that says, hey, I want you to answer. The first ring goes to our AI receptionist. It's for your overflow. It's for when you're busy. It's for your after hours weekend calls. It's for your emergency calls. That way, these lost opportunities that you may never know you had or you wish you could solve, Margot is going to take care of that for you.
I love it. Okay, so do you have a phone number that we could say out loud here on the podcast for people to call and text or give it a call?
Yeah, yeah. Just give me like 2 seconds to pull it up for you here, and
No
then while
problem.
I'm doing that, you should tell us. You should keep talking because you're so good at this. So,
Well, so the one thing you did say, it's not your front line. That was also her frustration, was she called this plumbing agency and it was their front line. It was like their screening tool, and she needed to talk to a
mm,
human being, and it was during business hours. So it was like, okay, guys, like I know you want to save on people answering the phone, but we needed to talk to a human being because there was a flooding problem. Like plumbing is one of those, when it's an emergency, and we should have that locked and loaded. So, did you find it?
I did find that number, and no, you're right. I've had to call plumbers before, and it's like we need a solution now, and I need someone to take me seriously in that moment, right? So, yeah, if you want to give Margot, the Mango's AI receptionist, a call and just try it out, see how much she sounds like a person, how much she doesn't sound like a person. It's only good feedback for us too. So the number is 435-999-5083.
Okay, say it again one more
So
time.
435-999-5083.
Awesome. So, any of our listeners who are interested, definitely give it a call. Come back and like share any experiences that you've had on our Facebook group, or let our coaches know at the events, and like talk about applications of this. If someone's interested in getting like a full demo and talking to you guys, where should they go? What should they do?
Yep, we try to keep this as simple as possible. Just go to our website, mangovoice.com. There's a little button there that says schedule a call. You can book a demo, pick your time when you want to do it, and we can go over all of this with you. Whether you just need to upgrade your phone system and you need an integrated phone system with your practice management software, we're a great fit for that. But if you're saying, hey, I really want to get into this AI game and use these features to enhance my practice, we can go over all those details with you too. So mangovoice.com, schedule a call, keep it nice and short and simple for you.
Perfect. Well, Richard, this has been awesome. It's exciting to see these things roll out. And looking back in 5 years, we're going to see just how much things change and how quickly. And you guys are on the front of this. You're on the edge. So, whatever developments are going to be there on phones in dentistry, I'm going to bet on the fact that you guys are going to be leading the way. So, thanks for coming on, man.
No, thanks for having me, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk about it. It is exciting times, and we're excited to be a part of it. And it's going to be fun to see where the future takes us.
Perfect. Well, we'll talk to you next time on the Shared Practices podcast.